Well. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in to the brand new edition of the Attacking Third. Yes, the Attacking Third is back today. Fifth season. Fifth season. That's a long time. That's a long time. I'm honored, of course. I'm honored and privileged to be doing the Attacking Third, and for me, it all stems back to my man Gus Seminara, who got this started, the Attacking Third. Um, and I'm carrying on a legacy because my best friend Gus, as everyone who's been following the Attacking Third, passed away 2 years ago or last year, but this is the now second union soccer season that I will be doing without him. Um, it's tough. I'm not gonna lie. Miss my best friend. He's my right hand man, and I'm really upset. He was the world to me. He was everything. Gus was great, and I'm always going to honor this, especially today, because this is day one of the Attacking Third. Like I said, season 5, and he started it all. If it wasn't for Gus, this wouldn't be going on. I would have no clue about Union soccer, and I'm going to live on that legacy for my best friend. But let's get into it, though. This is a brand new soccer season. Not much has changed as far as the roster, as far as the players on the field. But for the first time in 14 years, 15 years rather, there will be no Jim Curtin. There will be no Jim Curtin to kick off the season. And I don't know how the Union fans feel about that. There is no Jim Curtin to start the season. And it's weird because when you think, again, when I think of Union soccer, I think about my buddy Gus. But for Union fans, when you think of Union soccer, he's the first thing that comes to mind. He's the first. And this year will be different. Matter of fact, when you think about Union too, Coach Marlin ain't going to be there either. It's a whole different stratosphere as far as Union coaching staff. You have Ryan Retcher coaching the Union too. You have Bradley Carl going to be coaching. He's going to be the head coach of the Philadelphia Union. And you're going to have pretty much the same roster as you did last year. So, Union fans, are you excited? Are you happy to get Union? Here goes some good things about the Union, though. Daniel Gazdag finishing your top 10 as far as strikers. 17 goals last year. 17 goals. Kai Wagner finished top 15 with 13 assists. So there's a lot of things you can get excited for with some of the same faces coming back. I want to know, Union fans, are you pumped up? Will the Union get back to being a contender this year with a fresh face on the sidelines? What's his playbook going to look like? Ernest Tanner, this is his, he changes thing. And it's going to be interesting to see what the Philadelphia Union do starting off Saturday. Saturday, the season starts in Orlando. And they got plenty of people. And it's crazy because This is kind of like a measuring stick, right? Because Orlando's been a decent team in the MLS, has been right there in the middle of the pack. He's always making the playoffs, makes it usually like the second round or so. Has owned the Philadelphia Union this past year. Has beaten them by 1 point differential, 2-1 early, and then 3-2 late in the season. Guys they got to look out is like kids like Torres, who had 16 goals, 6 assists. Pedro Gallas had 8 clean sheets. He has a record 13-10. So, yeah, I mean, where are you at, Union fans? I mean, this is your time. This team. I mean, you should be excited. What's the Philadelphia Union going to do? What are they going to do? Come next Saturday. What's that right? Eddie Davis getting the bump up to the main roster. A lot of these puppies are coming up. And I'm curious to see what the Philadelphia Union do. How will they respond? You got Bedoya back on the sidelines. You got Daniel Gaza, Kai Wagner, Miguel Uwa, Jake Glesnes. I mean, the roster is pretty much, like I said, the same. Team's a little older. You got Andre Blake going to be between the pipes. Missed a lot of time last year. Hopefully, we won't have to do that other than the summer. But I'm looking for this team to get back to being a championship contender. And what's Bradley Carlo's game plan going to be? And this kind of puts a lot of pressure on Ernest Tanner because he's going to have to have this team locked and loaded and ready to go. How will this team respond after missing the playoffs, after not having Jim Curtin? Ernest it's got to have to be the smartest man in the room on this coaching decision. It's got to pan out. But hey, listen, change is good sometimes. Change is for the better. And this is what the Union front office has felt. That it was time for a change. Somewhere along the lines. So I want to know where's the excitement from the Union fans? Are you thrilled? Who is your favorite all-time Union player? There's a lot of questions to be answered. This is an exciting time. An exciting time for the Philadelphia Union. And I can't wait for this season to get started. I cannot wait for Saturday at 7:30 down in Orlando. It should feel like a midsummer game. I can't wait. And then the home game. I mean, it's crazy because the Union are really going to have tough back-to-back games. They start their season Saturday. And then the first is March 1st is their first home game against Cincinnati, which is a tall order. But I know Union fans are thrilled. They can't wait to get back there. The Sons of Ben, the tailgate parties. I can't wait to be back in the press, talking with all my great friends up there who cover this great team for many years. Guys like Jose Nunez, Jonathan Tennewall, my co-partner, Steve Benitez, the one great Kyle and Jill. I mean, the list goes on of all the great people. My man, Jimmy King, all those guys. I can't wait to get back in there talking about Union soccer and chatting it up. This is This is great. One thing it's crazy because when you have for years we've had a bad baseball team. Well, now like, again, you have something you could hang your hat on because it's almost summertime. The winter teams are about to wrap up their seasons. So what are you going to have? You're going to have a lacrosse team. You're going to have a soccer team. You're going to have a baseball team. And I'm really focused on what this Union team is going to bring to the table. All eyes are going to be on Bradley Cornell and what he's going to bring. What is he going to do for this Union team? Are they going to be different? Are they going to shake things up? What's his playbook? Everything's going to be online. What's Bradley Cornell's playbook going to look like? What's all that going to detail? And for a guy who covers Union 2, their farm system, I'm curious to know what Ryan's playbook is going to look like. Marvin LeBlanc's not going to be there no more. It's going to be, a whole new coaching staff. 2 new head coaches coming in here. So if this is your first time checking out the Attack and Third, this is your time, Union fans. It's exciting time. It's crazy. This team's had its ups and downs last year, dealing with injuries, dealing with representing countries and all that, the call ups, so all that stuff. It was weird because we all know the story of last year. Fans were really about to walk out on this franchise. Diehard fans were about to walk out because they hit rock bottom. They battled back to being a playoff contender, but they at the tail end of the season, they just came up short. But it's a new year. And new year speaks for optimism. And seeing what this team's going to be. What's going to be their move moving forward. I can't wait for this team to get started. The Union are back. Union soccer is back. What's going to be some of the big, I'm curious to know what Bradley Cornell's playbook going to look like. What's he going to do? What's going to be the big difference between him and Jim Curtin's playbook? How's he going to get the best out of his players? All those questions will have to be answered starting Saturday. Starting Saturday, all those questions are going to have to be answered. Because Orlando is not going to be a pushover, especially at home, especially in front of their home crowd. It's going to be a wild time next Saturday at 7:30. And I know the diehard Union fans will be making their way down there to catch the opening game. But this is going to be something great, something awesome. And if they could walk out of Orlando against a tough goalie, against a couple playmakers, and Duncan McGuire and Torres, if the Union could take a win convincingly, like a 3-4-1 win, 4-0 clean sheet, it's going to raise eyebrows. That's for sure. And hopefully they could do that. Now, I've been covering the Philadelphia Union, been really getting dialed into this team for the past, since I would say about 2018. I've been really dialed up again, this all goes back to my buddy Gus, get me involved in this team. And because it says Philly on it, my eyes are locked on it. And to know what this team's gonna be about this summer. Will there be any moves through the course of this summer? How this team is going to be different from everything else. So I want to look at this too, right? I'm going to go run a league with you guys. I want to go ask you, who do you think is going to be a contender or a pretender, a bottom feeder or a contender? I'm going to start with the New York Red Bulls. Will the New York Red Bulls be a contender? I think they're going to have a decent shot. I got to give it to my guy Jose Nunez. He called it. He said that team gets into the playoffs, they're going to be scary. I'll give it to Jose Nunez on that one. So let's go through these. I just said the New York Red Bulls. I think they'll be right back in the thick of things. It's going. The Philadelphia Union. I want to be optimistic and say they're going to be a playoff team because they do have the talent. They do have the talent to be a playoff team, but do I think they'll be there? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. You got a seasoned veteran, like I said, Andre Blake. When he's on the field, there's times where he's really dominant down tail end of the stretch. Wasn't great. So that's going to be a wait and see game. Then again, there won't be no Jake Elliott for the first time either. There won't be no Jake Elliott. CTH is back. CTH, I missed you. I haven't heard from CTH in a long time. Boycott the Union, CTH goes. Wow. I don't know if I could do that, CTH. I can't boycott the Union. Here we go. So I talked about the Red Bulls. I think they're going to be a contender. I don't know if the Union will be. I think they're going to be a middle of a pack team. I see DC United making a step forward. I see Charlotte being the same team that they were. Chicago, God bless your souls for one take on Mr. Elliott. You can have them. I don't see you guys moving me. I think you guys will be another bottom feeder team. Cincinnati will be right there. Columbus will be right there. No, I know what. Matter of fact, I'm going to say Cincinnati takes a step back. I think they just gave their that kid Acosta. He's down in Dallas now, so I don't think he's going to be. I think Cincinnati might be taking a step back. Miami will be there, obviously. Messier. I think they'll be a playoff team, but I think just like they were last year, they were so good during the regular season, they ran out of fuel. Came playoff time. Montreal, again, will be a fight for a playoff spot. Nashville, they always look good on paper, but reality, I don't see them taking a step forward. New England, you know what? I always feel like New England's going to make a step forward, but they don't. Orlando, I think, will be in the mix in the playoff spot. That's for sure. They'll be a contender. NYCFC, they'll be a contender. They're always a contender. And I think I covered. Oh, and Toronto. Toronto might make a step forward as well. Now let's take a look at that Western Conference. Dallas, I think, is going to make a tremendous step forward. I think Houston makes a step forward. I think both LA teams will be there. Minnesota will be in the mix as well. I think San Diego, their brand new team, will be up in the mix. I think that usually what happens. Usually, the first time expansion team always makes a nice little drive. I'm not sure. Think Seattle might take a step back. St. Louis might take a step forward. Salt Lake City will make a step forward. Portland will go backwards. Minnesota will go backwards. Colorado will make a step forward. San Jose, can't see them making much of an impact as well. Supporting Kansas City might be a shocker. But I can't wait. I can't wait for the season to get started. Can't wait for Saturday. Union Orlando. It's like you start off with a great, measuring stick game. I'm thrilled. I can't wait. You should be excited, Union fans. This is awesome. The Union season starts within 6 days. Now, like I said, I only been watching this team and covering for pretty much a cup of coffee. But I mean, since covering and watching it, I'm thrilled every Saturday. The wins, losses, the good, the bad, all that stuff. I'm excited. I can't wait. Cannot wait for Union soccer to get started. It should be a decent time. So, Union soccer fans, and I'm curious to know who on this team is going to take a step forward this year as far as Union. Like, Ua had a decent year as far as assist wise. Kai Wagner had a really nice year. Like I said, Daniel Gazdag was decent. Ty Baribo came out of nowhere this summer and played extremely well. Got into a rhythm this past summer, rather. I think he's done a lot of good things. I can't wait. Can't wait to get down there and start covering, talking with the people, seeing the tailgate parties, hanging with the Sons of Ben, meeting brand new people. Yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait to get in the press box, talk with all the great beat reporters. But it's definitely going to be different getting those post-game interviews and not seeing Jim there. That is going to be different. Not seeing Jim Curtin on the sidelines for your Philadelphia Union. I hope this is the right move. That's all I got to say. For a head coach has been here for 14 seasons and has really done a great job, made a Union Cup run. Has always been in the playoffs. The whole league and around the world has nothing but great respect for Jim Curtin, a local guy who went to Villanova, who has respect from all around the league. I'm surprised that we're going into a season he's not a head coach somewhere. And maybe he's buying time, but I can't see him sitting on his couch for like 2 years. I thought for sure he was going to be an NYCFC head coach. I thought he was going to go somewhere and like I know his name has been rumored. But yeah, I can't wait for this team to get rocking and rolling. But anyways, listen, it's going to be interesting. Like I said, it's going to be interesting to see Bradley down there. And like I said, if you guys are just waking up and checking out the show, what's your thoughts on the Union? How do you feel? Do you think this team's going to make a significant splash forward than they did last year with the same roster? Do you think things are going to be different? Do you think they take a step back? Because if that happens, a lot of people will be looking at that front office. Like, there's a lot of big shoes to fill to Bradley Cornell has a lot of big shoes to fill. Taking over for Jim Curtin. A lot of big shoes. A well-respected coach, has done great things for the city. Made a cup run. It's going to be really, really interesting to see what this team does moving forward. But anyway, Union fans, be excited. And like I said, to break down what Orlando is going to do and how, like I said, they got a really decent top 10 goaltender. No, he has 8 clean sheets last year. It's Pedro Glazes. 13 wins, 10 losses. They got 2 playmakers you got to have to keep your eyes out for. Duncan McGuire. And I don't want to butcher, but Torres, that Torres kid had 16 goals. He had 14 goals last year. My man Joey Hal checking in. What's up, my man? He says, Joe Hal goes, morning, bro. I think the Union are going to be better than last year, than next year. I think they're going to be better this year than next year. I hope you said, I think they're going to be better. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I don't know, Joe, if this team's going to be ready to go and make that step forward. I'm ready to see. And it's a wait and see game. Maybe this guy's going to dial something up. I mean, I'll give Tanner one thing. He didn't have a guy lined up already. I mean, he really went on a search. It took him about 6 weeks or so to dial up a new head coach. But we're going to look. We've heard all the press and conferences with Bradley Cornell. We heard everything we want to hear. But this is where it matters. This is where the live bolts come. We'll see what it's about. But anyway, I want to say thank you to everyone. Stay tuned. 9 o'clock, the Pat Bernard Show. We'll be right back right here live. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. I got you covered. I want to get into why this Eagles Super Bowl has made me really angry. Anyway, guys, have a great morning. Stay tuned. Attacking Third, we'll be back with me, Steve Fuentes, next week. We're here as we cover. And that's right. In Stream Punk Entertainment Sports, we'll have the first ever Union post-game shows. So don't go anywhere. All right, guys. Bye-bye.